welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and today we will learn all about the summer camp programs that are being offered at the Woodward School for Girls in Quincy this year. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's partly sunny, a little breezy, 59 degrees right now. Today will turn out a mix of sun and clouds, and temperatures in the low 60s this afternoon. Another chilly night tonight. Clouds will increase tonight. Temperatures drop off into the lower 40s. That sets us up for kind of a damp Saturday, unfortunately, with some showers in the morning, then a steadier rain by tomorrow afternoon. By the way, the weather tomorrow is forcing the Quincy Multicultural Festival to be moved from Faxon Park inside to North Quincy High School. That'll be tomorrow from noon to 3 p.m. as it'll be raining, unfortunately, in the afternoon. Temperatures only in the upper 50s. Much nicer for Mom on Sunday with a mix of sun and clouds, and pretty mild too on Mother's Day with temperatures in the lower 70s, and another cool, damp day on Monday with highs only in the low 50s. Again, 59, partly sunny in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, it could be anywhere from 90 to 120 days before the state Supreme Court issues a ruling on the proposed statues of Saints Michael and Florian for the outside entrance to the new Quincy Public Safety Complex. Both sides presented their case to the state's highest court at the John Adams Courthouse in Boston on Wednesday morning. Now, the justices questioned attorneys for the city about the religious significance of the statues. They also questioned the attorney for the residents about whether the statues could also have secular importance.
Even more religious doesn't make it even more secular.
No, I would say both are true, Your Honor. These figures have a mixed significance, a broader significance than just a religious significance. They've come to represent firefighters and police officers, whatever their beliefs or background. But even if you focus on the religious part of their significance, which we haven't disputed that some people might view them as religious, even within that narrower focus, they're not exclusively associated.
Would you concede that if this case, obviously will go back down one way or the other, and if Quincy built a huge factual record showing well beyond anything we've seen here that, these Florian and Michael are essentially the mascots in kind of a sports team way of police and firefighters all across the country of every different religion, and it's not just about prayer, but it's just this encouraging symbol like gritty or whatever, that would be enough? Or are you saying that the well is poisoned because they originally came from a religious tradition?
I think what we're saying, Your Honor, is that this record supports the preliminary injunction.
So a group of residents is trying to stop the statues from being installed, arguing it violates the state constitutional separation of church and state. The city contends that the statues are longtime symbols of support for police officers and firefighters. The statues remain in storage after a Superior Court judge ordered that they not be installed until this case is resolved. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch has unveiled an almost $492 million budget for the next fiscal year that begins on July 1st. It represents a 2.9% increase over the current year's spending plan. The mayor says the budget has no new programs or positions and maintains current service levels. The budget also adds $2 million to the city's reserves, which Koch says is a healthy amount.
There's people who say we should have more reserves, and I don't disagree with that. That's a good goal to have. I've suggested it in the past as well. But you're competing against the needs of the municipality. And I mentioned last night, your debt is looked at by the outside advisors, but they also look at your assets. And if you're not maintaining your assets, that's a knock. That has an effect on your rating. So, there's been a lot of deferred maintenance decades before I took office. We're on our fifth new school. We put windows, roofs, boilers in just about every other school. We're maintaining our 80-plus buildings like they've never been. We are maintaining a beautiful park system. We're rebuilding our infrastructure under the roads, repaving the roads, public safety headquarters, seawalls. This stuff all costs money, Joe. And, I don't think the people elected me to put money in the bank think they want services, and they want to see it. And I think that's what we've been doing.
Now, the budget includes 4.5% increases for public safety and education, and includes contractual pay raises and increases in health insurance, trash collection, and energy. The City Council's Finance Committee will now review the budget line by line. Council may approve or cut the budget, but may not make any additions. The new fiscal year begins on July 1st. Quincy City Council hoping to get more information about the city's $1.8 billion in debt before going into budget deliberations. Council President Ann Mahoney says attempts to find out how that money is being generated from the new development in Quincy Center have been unsuccessful.
The payments for any of the new buildings that are in downtown should be coming in, and it should be a fairly easy thing to get, but they are commingling that with the general fund, and I think that was a concern for many people because, as we do know, Joe, we've been told year after year after year that the DIF will pay for itself, but we're having a hard time getting the DIF proceeds from the downtown. So we need to know how much when we're taking out those bonds. This was last week. I don't mean to bring this up from last week, but the whole point of the exercise of having the debt brought to us was to understand how much debt the city has. That has grown from 1.6 to 1.8. We don't know what the expenditures are, what they're spending that money on in the downtown, and then we don't know the receipts of what we're getting back that's supposed to pay down those DIF loans.
A public hearing about the budget will be held on Monday at 7:30 at Quincy City Hall. Budget hearings are also scheduled for May 19th, June 2nd, and June 10th. Construction on the new MBTA bus maintenance facility on the Bergen Parkway in Quincy is about 80% complete now. The T is building this facility to house and maintain 120 new battery electric buses and to replace the existing over 100-year-old bus maintenance facility on Hancock Street. This new 300,000 square foot facility will feature 23 service bays that will be able to charge buses in 4 hours during the overnight hours. Solar panels will be installed on the roof that will generate 1 megawatt of power. A shared community path is also being installed that will allow pedestrians to access the Quincy Adams T station across the street. Construction on the $400 million facility began in late 2023. It's scheduled for completion early next year. The T will then demolish the existing bus garage on Hancock Street. Mayor Thomas Koch is hopeful the T will give that 4-acre site to the city, which he says may be used for recreational activities. It was a record. Almost 1,000 people participated in the recent Stop the Stigma 5K road race to raise funds for Interfaith Social Services of Quincy. The 52nd annual event raised over $180,000 for Interfaith's New Directions Counseling Center. Participants started and ended the race at the Kennedy Center after traversing the hills of Squantum. The event this year also featured food and refreshments. There was music, raffles, and games. The counseling center operates on a sliding fee scale based on one's ability to pay. The first 4 counseling sessions are free. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, the Woodward School here in Quincy getting ready for a busy summer season. Look at all the details next. Welcome back. I know we are just in early spring right now. However, the folks at Woodward School here in Quincy are already in summer mode. The summer camp is coming up in July, and Miss Furlong, Cami Furlong, is here along with student Emmi Torres to tell us a little bit about their experiences and how you might be able to get involved as well. So ladies, welcome. Thanks for coming over.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you both, actually. And Cami, it's great to be talking about summer.
I know, I'm so excited. Yeah.
With these cool nights, we're thinking, when's it ever going to get warm? But it will, for sure. Before we talk about the summer program, tell me a little bit about your experience at Woodward, how you came to Woodward and your background.
Yeah. I was teaching biology out in Springfield, Massachusetts, and moved to Boston after meeting with Woodward towards the end of spring 2024.
Okay.
And the mission, teaching young girls and giving them opportunities, especially in STEM, really touched me, and I thought it was so important, and I was so excited to join. I've been teaching science for the upper school at Woodward now for 2 years, It was also my second year running their summer program,
okay.
and it's been such a joy. The girls are all so fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
My licensure is in biology, but I get the opportunity to teach across the board lots of high school science subjects. And then over the summer, we do subjects across the board with science, humanities, sports, and technology. So
Okay.
it's great to explore.
And how's the experience been for you? Has it been what you hoped it would be?
It's been incredibly rewarding. I think that every day is definitely adventure with all of the stuff we get up to, you know. But the girls are so eager to learn, and over the summer, all of the campers are so eager to be there. It's a co-ed program, which is a different layer and really exciting.
What? Boys at Woodward?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
This is second year for that as well?
Yes, so
Okay.
we started that initiative last year.
Okay, what was the thought behind that? Why?
We had a lot of families that had sons along with their daughters that said, our daughters have enjoyed this so much, we would love if we could bring our son. And after talking it over with staff, we wanted to spread the opportunity.
Sure,
You know?
sure. And luckily for Emmi, your brother was one of the first ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that work out?
He went a different week than me. We didn't actually go together because
Was that on purpose?
no, I
okay.
was at I couldn't go the week he went,
Okay.
and he couldn't go the week I went. We had like opposite summer schedules.
I see.
But he loved it, and I like that he got to learn a little bit of what I did, so we could have like shared experience.
Sure, right? Yeah, very good. Okay. So what grade are you in now, Emmi?
8th grade.
8th grade, going into, so you'll be a freshman next year.
Yeah.
Okay, and you attended summer camp last year?
Yeah.
Was that the first time?
That Miss Furlong ran it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been, but it was a different program.
Okay, and what was the experience like for you?
I liked it a lot. I learned a lot of different things, and I did like baking. I went on a field trip to the New England Aquarium, and that was really fun. And there's not a lot of kids, so it's more organized and smaller, so we're more like connected.
Okay, all right. And so are you doing it again this year?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you looking forward to this year that maybe you didn't do last year?
Last year they didn't have as many like sport options. This year's there's more, so I'm excited to try that out.
Okay, all right. Now you are very active both in and outside of school, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your outside school activities.
I do soccer, dance, and Girl Scouts out of school. And Girl Scouts, we help the community in Quincy a lot. We've been to interfaith, we do like cleanups, and yeah.
Okay, and then in school, you're part of the theater program, right?
In school we do theater, and engineering, and a lot of other fun things.
Okay. In fact, you're performing in The Little Mermaid tonight.
Yeah, tonight and tomorrow.
And tomorrow. Very good. Okay. So, Cami, why don't we talk a little bit about the actual program, summer camp program? It's first of all, it's not just for Quincy residents,
No,
right?
absolutely.
It's open to the community
Yes.
as a whole. What'll be happening this year?
So students are able to sign up for courses that they're interested in across 4 different subject areas.
Okay.
So we have arts and humanities, we have technology courses, we have science courses, and we have sports or movement courses.
Okay.
And we offer different course selections each week of our 4 weeks so that students are able to try different activities each time. Our goal is to expose campers to as many different things as possible
Sure.
so that they're able to find new things that excite them and also delve deeper into things they already find exciting.
Okay.
As Emmi mentioned, we do things like the chemistry of cooking, where they get to bake and make lots of cool things and talk about the chemistry of what's happening. That's one of our science courses. We have ceramics and mosaics and other art and writing in our humanities. We do 3D printing and coding in our technology. And we, last year for movement, only offered soccer and volleyball as our 2 options, but this year we're adding in yoga options and other outdoor play and indoor dance, mixing into that.
Okay. So it's a 4-week program?
Yes, so
Okay.
students can sign up for 1 week
Yep.
or all four.
All
Some
four, okay.
campers choose to attend, like Emmi said, with attending other camps so that they can come during the weeks that they're free.
Sure.
And then we have some campers who stay with us all summer. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Starts in July and it runs for the entire month, right?
Yes, so we're July 6th through July 31st this year.
All at the Woodward campus?
All at the Woodward campus.
Okay.
Every Friday we take an off-campus field trip.
Yes, where are you going this year?
We're going to the Museum of Illusions in Boston. We're going to Franklin Park Zoo. We're going to do a trip to Blue Hills Reservation.
Fun.
And we'll go back to the New England Aquarium.
Of course.
Yeah.
An old standard, right?
Yes.
Exactly. What's your favorite part of summer camp, Cami?
My favorite part of summer camp, I think it's very exciting to interact with students in a way that gets them excited about subject areas without having some of the intensity that comes with academics.
There's no grades in summer
There's
camp.
no
right?
grades,
Yeah, okay.
They can take a coding course, and if they're passionate about one element of it, we can dive so much deeper, right? We don't have to circle back to make sure that we're hitting these standards. We can make sure that they're exploring it in a way that they feel passionate about, and that's really special.
Now, you just mentioned you teach upperclassmen, which is what grades?
I teach grades 9 through 12
Okay.
at Woodward. So all 9th graders take biology, all 10th graders take chemistry, and then for grades 11 and 12, they're able to choose different high-level sciences. So we offer dual enrollment courses with Quincy College, like marine ecology, environmental science, and anatomy and physiology.
Sure.
And then we also offer AP Biology, AP Psychology, which was recently rebranded as Science.
Oh.
And next year we're also offering Physics.
Oh, wow, okay. That level, my goodness, wow, okay. So, Emmi, freshman next year, have you thought about your course selections?
I think in 9th grade I have one I have to take, but when I'm older I definitely want to take psychology.
Psychology?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that offered at Woodward?
Yeah, right?
AP
Yeah.
Psychology.
Yeah.
AP
Yes.
Psychology. Okay, very good. No, but in the meantime, summer camp's going to be coming first,
Yeah.
right? So what are you looking forward to this year?
For like the summer camp, I'm gonna do the cooking probably again like I did last year. I did soccer last year as a sport, but I might try a different sport to just like learn more without, like she said, the pressure.
Yes.
And I'm not sure about the other things yet.
Okay. Now, are you taking it with your brother this year?
I'm not sure yet either.
Okay. A shared experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then looking forward after Woodward, have you thought about that at all?
Not really.
No, really. Okay.
You have
Not yet
time.
anyway.
Yeah.
Plenty of time for that. How do folks, can we sign up for summer camp?
So registration happens right through the Woodward School website.
Okay.
There's a header on top of the website that interested families can click on,
Yes.
and then it's an easy jot form that they can include their information,
Okay.
and we send them billing information.
Is there financial help available for folks if they need it?
Yes,
There is.
so we do offer financial aid, and we also have discounts for Q Care and for Girl Scouts.
Oh, okay. Very good. And is there transportation provided?
We don't provide
No.
transportation. We
Okay.
do provide transportation to all field trips, and all field trip costs are included in our tuition.
Okay, all right. And is there a deadline? Do you know to
We have
sign up?
rolling admission,
Oh, okay.
so as long as we have space and the course is interested, campers can sign up at any point. We've had campers who only signed up for weeks 1 and 2, and then while they're there, they said, I didn't want to leave, and we registered them for the rest of the summer.
Okay, all right. And about how many kids participate overall, do you know?
Generally speaking, we average around between 16 and 20 campers per week,
Okay.
so that we're able to do small, intimate classes
that's
and
like Emmi
really
said,
get to know the
yeah.
instructors. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So it sounds like you get as much fun out of it as the kids do.
I love it. I get to kind of pop into classes and spend time with the campers while
Yeah.
I'm there. I hung out with their class last summer making mosaic picture frames and doing lots of fun arts and crafts.
Sure.
In between the administrative work, it's a lot of joy to spend time with them.
And is it all Woodward instructors that are also running the different
So
camps?
we have Woodward instructors assist, but we bring in teachers from all over the area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. It's public school teachers or private teachers?
Public and private school
Really?
teachers, yes.
Okay. Why is that?
We want to bring in, I think, people who are really passionate about different aspects and are having the energy to go. Sometimes Woodward school teachers travel and do other things over the summer.
Sure.
So when they're there, it's wonderful. But I think overall, our camp staff, we bring in people who also have more experience with elementary school, since while Woodward is grades 6 through 12,
Yeah.
the camp is grades 4 through 9.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so, all right. So they're actually could not be Woodward students, possibly, right?
We have some Woodward students, but we have many students who don't attend Woodward at all.
I see. Okay. Now, why is that? Is that kind of to expand the school's reach?
Yes, I would say lots of our campers start seeking out our summer program because they're interested at Woodward and they want to explore what the classes will be like, meet some of the faculty that are there, and get a vibe of what the community is like as a whole. We've had many students start out as campers and then get to know our faculty and apply to attend for future years.
Okay. Now we should point out, although boys are welcome for summer camp.
Yes, but not at Woodward.
Not at Woodward
Yes.
yet, anyway, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Our mission as a girls' school is really important
disrupt
to us.
that, centuries-old tradition.
Yeah.
Yet, anyway. But for summer camp, yes.
Yes, for summer camp, yes.
Roughly how many boys are participating? Or how about last year? How many participated?
It depends week by week,
Okay.
but I would say about a quarter of our campers are boys on average.
Okay.
Like we mentioned, some are with families that
Sure.
have chosen to attend,
Yeah.
and some come on their own wanting to get to know Woodward and spend time at Woodward.
Interesting. Okay. So I do have actually a list of all of your different offerings
Great.
through the summer catalog, just to give folks a snapshot idea of what is offered. And you have them categorized by arts and humanities, science, and technology.
Yes, and then movement at the bottom.
And of course, and movement, yeah, and your field trips as well.
Yes.
So things like watercolor paintings, poetry.
I did poetry last year.
You did poetry last year?
Yeah.
Did you write it?
We wrote it, and then we did like kind of crafts and poetry. So like we'd write it and then like decorate the paper. We wrote it, and we did like different types of poetry. So each day we learn a new form. We did like blackout poetry, where you have to like only color out the letters that you don't want to use and just leave a few words. So it's like hands-on. So it's really cool.
Okay. So is poetry something that you're passionate about, Emmi?
I like to do it in English class. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Origami, there's journalism, I have to mention that as well. Cami, in your bailiwagon under science, there's chemistry of cooking you mentioned, exploring the ecosystem, gardening, and space exploration,
Yes.
which, given the space mission earlier this year, I'm sure a lot of students would be interested in that as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then under technology, you mentioned 3D printing, coding, building a website, and digital photography.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of the equipment, if you will, is provided?
Yes, absolutely.
All of the materials? So
Yes.
kids don't have to bring anything?
Kids have to bring nothing
Okay.
except for lunch. We do offer lunch for an additional cost if
Okay.
they would like to pay for lunch for the week. But other than that, they bring sunscreen and a water bottle, and we provide everything else.
Okay. And then under movement, soccer, but yoga, volleyball, and field games as well.
Yes.
All at Woodward.
All at Woodward.
Okay. And then your field trips as well on Fridays. So it doesn't really fill up, right? It's kind of on a rotating sign-up schedule?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
sometimes we'll have a particular course that
Yeah.
may fill up just for materials. But we like to work with families and make sure that students are excited about their schedule with whatever they're able to take.
Yeah, okay. Anything missing this year that you'd like to add for next year?
Not right now. If things come up, we'll add it as it goes.
Could a camper make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
something? Okay.
So we love, I talk to the campers constantly.
Yeah.
We go through, and if a camper has an idea for a course they're really passionate about or anything like that, we love that insight.
Okay. And are these all-day camps, or what are the actual hours, Cami?
So drop-off is at 9 a.m.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
pickup is
Oh.
at 3 p.m.
Oh, so it is,
We
okay.
do offer extended mornings starting at 8 a.m. for an additional cost.
Okay. All right. Good to know. So really, once they're at camp, they're there for most of the day.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Good to know. And I do want to mention also that there is a fundraiser for Woodward coming up later on this year over at Marina Bay, and Denise Hajar, who has a fashion store over there at Marina Bay Boardwalk, does a fundraiser every year for a community cause. This year she's chosen the Woodward School for Girls. And this is coming up in June from 5 to 8 p.m. on the boardwalk at Marina Bay. So it's eat, drink, model, fashion show, but it's all to benefit the Woodward School this year.
Yes.
So I wanted to mention that as well.
Thank you. We're really excited about it.
I bet, yeah. It helps provide like the financial aid that you mentioned earlier, yeah. Emmi, anything like to share with folks about maybe they're thinking about going to Woodward or to summer camp? Some of your favorite experiences?
I'd say definitely sign up for summer camp and invite all of your friends. I invited a bunch of my friends, and it was super fun. And it's a great way to spend your summer. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Cami, anything else for folks?
No, just that our admissions are rolling, and we'd love to talk to all families that are interested.
Sure. Website's the best place to go, right?
Yeah,
Just the main
absolutely.
website. Sign up there and get all the information. Yeah. Thank you both. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you have a wonderful summer.
Thank you so much for having us.
You are very welcome. No summer in the forecast, unfortunately, for the foreseeable future for the rest of the day today. It's okay. It's spring-like. Sun and clouds, low 60s this afternoon, low 40s this evening. It's a gray day tomorrow with off and on showers in the morning and then a steadier rain later in the day with highs only in the upper 50s. Nice Mother's Day, sun and clouds, low 70s, and more rain here on Monday. It'll be cool too with temperatures only in the low 50s. Thanks again to Miss Furlong and Emmi Torres for joining us from the Woodward School. Thank you to our crew. Thank you for watching. Monday here on the program, the Wollaston Garden Club stopping by. They're getting ready for their spring plant sale. We'll learn about that. In the meantime, please visit our website, qatv.org. You'll find all of our latest programs along with news and information. There's video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Happy Mother's Day.